Now, it's time for evaluations. Be scared. Be very, very scared. Please welcome RG Vishita.
Okay, there's no need to worry. The evaluation is not going to be so bad. Let's start off with the beginning of the meeting. The Sergeant announced that you are always such a pleasure to watch on stage. You were here before time. The meeting started exactly on the dot. You have such amazing stories. Every time I hear you speak, I really wonder where you get them from. And at the end of every meeting, I find out that you've made a lot of them up. And I really think you should start writing short stories because, at least keep a note or start a blog. I think it would really help you. You really bring a smile to everybody's face, and I think you've improved so much. In the beginning, you used to look nervous on stage, but now you look like you've completely gotten it under control. So I think you should just keep going. I'm really looking forward to hearing your speeches as well. So let's give Sal a great round of applause. And coming to our president, Mrinalini, again, it's like you and Sad, both of you together are like this fat, stupendous team that comes out with, the best opening to the meeting that I've ever heard. There is such a, your personal stories, like both you and Sad, you have these personal stories and then you add these other stories and you connect it to lessons and life lessons that we all take home, and I think that is a great way to start a meeting. So thank you so much. Let's have a round of applause for her. And just like her lovely introduction to Aju, he totally lived up to everything that she said and a lot more. Aju, you did a brilliant job. You came on stage, you always put a smile on everybody's face, you make us laugh, you ensure that everybody enjoys the meeting, and I really think that's a tough task to do. So can we have a round of applause? There are two things that I would really like to mention. Firstly, that you are charming on stage, and I'd like you to use it a lot more. And the second thing is that I really like the way you connected what the speaker spoke during when he was talking and how you talked about it later. I think it made the speaker feel a lot more comfortable when he went back. So I think that was really brilliant, and that is something that I think all of us should pick up when we are doing a role like that. So let's give him a round of applause. Now coming to the project speeches, let's have our evaluator, Priyanka, evaluate the day.
Good evening, Toastmasters and the speaker in particular. Now, during an icebreaker, a lot of incidents would have happened in your life, and your task is to choose incidents that will suit the audience. And I think you have chosen to tell us about your professional life, how you got into your profession. Now, introduction, you went in a chronological way, and throughout your speech you maintained that. You kept the chronology in order. Now, you spoke about teachers who changed your life. Most of us hate our teachers and we like to speak bad about them. But you had this optimistic perspective to your speech, and I really appreciate that. Your strong point is definitely eye contact and humor. Now, when you're talking to an audience, when you make eye contact, there is a personal bond between the speaker and the audience. So whatever you do, there is a welcoming end on the other side. And you also had a stiff firm body language, which is a plus point. You were clasping your hands and you seemed really confident, which is again good when the audience is looking at you. You were very comfortable when you were speaking, and you also remember the entire script, which is a good practice. I'm sure you must have practiced a lot at home, which is a good practice. And when you seem confident, the audience, they start to believe about your speech. There is conviction when you're confident. Now, there are certain places where your volume went a little low. I would like you to improve upon that. You had a very good opening. You gave us a quick recap about your life, but could there have been a dramatic opening line? Like something very dramatic that caught the attention of the audience. You could work on that. And then, now you spoke about your profession. At Toastmaster, we have this personal bond. So I wish you told us more about your family, or when we spoke about your childhood, you could have stated a few experiences, funny experiences, because you had a little bit of humor everywhere. So if you could work on that, if you could bring that person, if you could work on that personal connection between the audience, I think that will be one of your forte in the future. You could work on humor. Also, I really like the way how you took a challenge in something you were not at all interested and you worked upon that, and that shows how dedicated you are. So I really wish that you were more dedicated towards Toastmasters. Today you have taken your first baby step. I think there are a lot of things to come. Please work on the following stated areas of improvisation, and I hope one day I have nothing to say about you, nothing negative and only positive. Please give a big round of applause.
Priyanka, that was a lovely evaluation. You took into part every single aspect of covering the speech for your first evaluation. I think that was brilliant. Please do. And you, I hope to see in the evaluation contest, which will be coming up sometime soon. Alright, coming to Vijay, there was just one thing I think that she missed that I would like to point out to you. I think at some points in time, you touch your face. When you're thinking about something, you tend to touch your face or your nose, and this can be slightly distracting, so I think if you refrain from doing that, it would really help you. Other than that, you look calm, you look relaxed, you look in complete control, and for a first speech, that's absolutely brilliant. So let's have a round of applause. Now coming to the next evaluation of our CC10 project by Anand.
Senior Sergeant, congratulations. I have been waiting, like I know how difficult it is to give speech time, and you have reached one of the major milestones in the Toastmaster journey, and after this it will be much more smoother than what it was earlier. I am sure, because I have seen others moving much faster after they completed CC. So you have done everything, whatever you are supposed to do. You have done, like opening was great. You use your body language to almost bend down. And right from the beginning, you are inspiring and involving the audience. All of us to connect with you. And since you spoke about your parents and how you have studied in your life and succeeded, it was very good. There are only one or two areas where you can improve upon is to reduce the number of long pauses you have. But I think they have reduced considerably when compared to what I have seen before. And one of the ways to do it is to organize it in logical sequence so that you know what is coming next. You go from, I think there were a little bit of going back and forth in years. So if you make 1985, then 1994, then 2000, then but I think you have to go because you're talking about your mother and father separately. So I don't know how to do it. I think you will figure it out how to do it. But other than that, I don't see anything because it's you have set the bar high for all of us and yourself. I'm looking forward to your ACSS, ACBs, and I'm sure you will do a great job. Thank you.
Alright, so for the evaluator, I would say that there is a lot of, to improve your evaluation, what you could do is at the back of every project guideline, there's a list of questions that they ask you. So instead of going on the fly, maybe if you take those as guidelines, it will be really helpful because you will make sure that you cover every aspect of an evaluation when you do that. And I think it will really help when you are delivering an evaluation so that the speaker does not miss out on any points. So that's the only thing that I would say. Other than that, I think you did a great job. So let's have a round of applause. Coming to Srinivas Raju, wow, what a speech. There was so much of, yourself in it. You know, there was nobody else. It was all about your own life, and that's what we come here to, you know, listen to. Is personal experiences. I think you did a lovely job with that. You had some beautiful usage of the English language. The more I sweat in training, the less I bleed in life. Like, I think that was something that I will take home and I will remember, you know. So I think that was lovely. One thing that I could say for you, maybe if you improve on your grammar and your pronunciation to a little extent, it would really help the speech flow. I know you practiced really hard. I could tell that you had done all of your homework, but sometimes you get stuck, and maybe it could be because of pronunciation or grammar. So if you get this down, I think you will be one of the best speakers, and I really see you going to great heights. So I really want to see that, and I will. Now coming to our third speaker, Ranjit Kalgate.
Toastmasters, guests, and Toastmasters. CC2, organize your speech. The speech has three basic points in it. You have the opening, you have the body, and you have the conclusion. This is the fundamental. And in achieving this, you know how to write a good speech. You have succeeded in that. Please give a big round of applause. Coming to the finer aspects of your speech. Your speech was about the relationship between success and desire and passion. Am I right? This is a topic that is relevant to a lot of people nowadays. You have children who are only focused on success. You have children who are only focused on their desire. People are also driven that way. Yours combined, connected the two. It is something that people need. It had value, it had meaning, and it had insight. Excellent speech that way. Your speech had preparation. When you come here and you speak, people want someone who is prepared. People want someone who they know has worked hard in delivering their speech because it adds extra value to that speech and makes them want to listen to you. I saw that when you spoke, body language came out freely. All that you wanted to say was translated not only into your words but also came out in your body language. Such a thing happens only when that idea is concretely embedded inside of you. It happens only when you know exactly what you want to say, and that slowly comes out. Once you got into that flow, it just came out superbly. But in regard to organization, the objective are to select an appropriate outline which allows the listener to easily follow and understand your speech. You have achieved that. You had a strong opening. It woke people up. Shook them in their chairs. You said 75% of people are unhappy. It strikes them. Then you came to your body. You had 3 points. First one, you spoke about the torpedo. Then you spoke about your ideas which you can help. You also mentioned iconic figures like George Washington and Thomas Alva Edison. Each point that you had supporting material. It strengthened what you wanted to say. Your conclusion was strong as well. It had that impact on the audience. But what I felt was missing in this speech was transition. The third objective. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another. I felt that the speech would have had a lot more value and been easier to understand and had more impact if your transitions were better. You gave your opening and then you moved it to your body. But that separation was not there. Same with the body and the conclusion. That separation was not there. The simplest way to have that transition is by pausing. A simple pause. Complete your opening, pause. Let the audience absorb it. Go to your body. Let the audience absorb it. Then give your conclusion. That would have made it a wonderful speech and raised its level by a big notch. Other than that, I enjoyed your speech. It was a lot of fun watching you give your speech here. Please do come again. Thank you.
evaluation, there's pretty much nothing left to say. One suggestion that I do have for you is maybe especially when you were talking about the body of the speech and you were telling us or telling him what he did and what he said, I think you can just kind of not get into so many details because everybody's heard the speech and so has he. So, it wastes your time. You have only a very short time, you have 2 to 3 minutes. So keep all of the stuff that we've already heard kind of out of it. If you have to cite a specific example, you can. But other than that, I think you could have used your time more effectively and not run out of time and get that part out. But I think you did a brilliant evaluation. Let's have a round of applause. Coming to Ranjit, I think you did a great job. Your speech it was so inspirational. Though it's your second speech, I think you really did look at the guidelines of the 10th speech, and I think you wrote your speech along the lines of that. I have a couple of suggestions for you. I think you were pacing around on the stage a little bit, maybe because I have no idea what the reason could be, but a lot of times when you were talking about the torpedo, it made sense, but other times just moving around could distract the audience, so that's one thing. And the other thing that I could tell you is please don't chew any gum when you're on stage, because it's not just for him, but for everybody else. If by chance you are chewing gum, please find a sheet of paper that you can take it out of your mouth before you come on stage, because it is very distracting to the audience. And it's something that I guess should not be repeated, so I'm sure you will not. I will be very but just to say. Other than that, I think you had a lovely message. There is something that I can take home, and I'm sure everybody else is going to take home something from your speech as well. So congratulations on completing your second speech, and let's have a round of applause for it. Everybody pass the ballot papers back to Sal, and in the meantime, we will have the assignees. Our counter.
Good evening. Yes. 3.
Go.
Madam General Evaluator and Toastmasters. Let's go. Sultan rounds had 2 R's. President Bilalni had 1 pause and 2 R's. The MC had 1 growl and 2 K's. Use that as a filler word. Just for fun. General Evaluator had 1 repetition, 1 gulp, which we do quite often, and 1 filler again. Speaker 1, you had 5 R's, okay, and you also use the terms I mean and you know, so you should probably focus on that, might be involuntary. Speaker 2, 1 pause, 3 repetitions and 1 more long pause. Speaker 3 had 1 and 1 pause. Evaluator 1 had 1 long pause. And Evaluator 2 had 1 That's great.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Today I have a great statistic. 6 people use the word of the day.
Wow.
Please.
Respect it.
So I'm thinking maybe we should think about the words we use. I can't say anything else. Coming back to usage and what's a good usage. This is my first Remainian report. I actually look for things that didn't sound well, because things that sound well, it went directly to my mind. I didn't really notice. The president used the phrase, correct me if I'm wrong, the atmosphere is profound tranquility. And in prepared speeches, Vijay used some good expressions. Indelible impression on me, learning process is never ending. Coming to second speaker, Srinivas Raju, I have one suggestion about some of the word endings that end with say. When you say finished, thought, walk, I think it's because of the mother tongue, it comes out English. You say something like finish to, talk to, talk to. So this is hard to realize. So please be aware of the and Jan, it's little sand, so January. When you say he never absent, so he was never absent. But good speech. Ranjit, good imagery, torpedo your dreams. Good imagery. That's it.
The timer is on.
First of all, I want to congratulate Sergeant Imams, Resident, MC, G, and Cable Operating Master for using the time appropriately and not going beyond the expected. So, really congratulate because of you. We are ending the meeting at the right time. Regarding the prepared speeches, Speaker 2 and Speaker 3, both of them are well within the stipulated time. Speaker 1, icebreaker, 6 minutes 40 seconds. So 6 minutes 30 is the last one. But it's a commander being icebreaker. Okay, no problem. Cable topic, everyone within 1 to 2 minutes 30 seconds. And regarding evaluation, Anand 1 minute 50 seconds. Up to 3 minutes 40 seconds. So the plane was very interesting. Yes.
And last but not least, listener, Srinivas.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First question. What is the name of the school first speaker Vijay attended in Hyderabad? Anand.
Guru Nanak.
That's the right answer. While Achu introducing general evaluator, he mentioned the profession of the general evaluator. What is the profession?
Image consultancy.
That's the right answer. Next question. In which year Mr. Srinivas Raju attended basic training? Okay.
1989.
1985.
84.
Sorry, 98. That's the right answer. This is between Anand, Venkat and Saul. What is the message shared by Mrinalini in her presidential address? One message. So it's between 3 of them. Then I'll throw the next one. Venkat.
She shared the Zen Master's message that, whatever you are, you should be happy with who you are.
Yes, sir.
Everyone is different, everyone has his own qualities.
Yeah, that's the right answer. But the words are, do not compare yourself with others. Star is the winner.
Those were lovely questions. So coming back to the
Well, I had fun. I hope you guys did too. Back to the president.